Hey, I'm Rita Cook.
And I'm Terry Murphy.
And we are ECP-TV. As promised, Terry, we're going to talk about the lobbyist and the government. And I like your shirt.
I knew we were going to talk about that.
Because that's the days whenever people were actually watching, and probably was still crazy stuff going on in the government, but we didn't know it. So Charlie Brown kept everybody in a sort of a happy mood.
Don't make me do stuff.
Who was your favorite Charlie Brown character?
This one.
Snoopy?
Yeah.
Everybody thought I was Peppermint Patty. I don't think she... Do you guys see the resemblance?
That was not a favorite one, though.
She was cool. All right, lobbyists, which are not cool. Okay,
No.
So first off, I want to just mention to everybody that if you do not know the Constitution, it's time for you to learn it. But very important is the First Amendment, which is freedom of speech, press, and the right to assemble. And then the Second Amendment is the right to keep and bear arms. But I just noticed the Ninth Amendment, which I guess I never studied in school, but it says the Ninth Amendment states that listing specific rights in the Constitution does not mean that people do not have other rights that have not been spelled out. When was the last time one of our government officials mentioned that?
No, never heard it. Didn't even know there was that one.
Yeah, there's 10 of them, by the way.
I know.
And everybody needs to learn them. And the Declaration of Independence. Okay, so lobbyist. One of the things I do want to say, just starting out, is if you want to know what a politician is, what company is paying a politician off, look and see who is putting money into their campaign fund, which would be through the political action committees, and find out what bills they're trying to push through Congress, and then put the two together, and it's a puzzle piece, and you can find out who's getting bought because the lobbyists run our country.
Yeah.
So we got Al from Dallas. Al, you can speak up whenever you want to, and Terry's going to say a few things.
Well,
how you doing, Al?
You there?
Hey, how you doing?
Al, what's your opinion of lobbyists?
Well, I think there's way too much. I think there's way too much money in politics anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you really can't say whether it's the right or the left because they all do it. They're all. I mean, there's no way you go and get a civil. Basically, a civil. You know, you're supposed to be a civil servant, and those guys make $174,000 a year, but half of them are worth $100 million. How the hell does that happen?
Right. Yeah, well, it happens because you're like Nancy
Corruption.
Pelosi. This is what I've heard. I'm not going to say anything bad about Nancy Pelosi, although if you go have a drink with me, you might hear something different. But somebody was saying just see what stock she's selling and buying, and then you'll know what you need to do if you're in the stock market.
Right. Yeah, that's true. She's made blatantly illegal purchases and having knowledge, foresight or forethought, knowledge of things that were going to be litigated against,
Mm-hmm.
and she knew whether they were going to pass or not. So she's making her purchases. A law passes allowing certain stuff, and that stock goes through the roof. Well, this chick's buying short and selling long on damn near anything you could think of.
Right.
I mean, she's got a winery in San Francisco it's as big as Tarrant County almost.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say anything about that because I have so many things going on in my head right now that I want to say about the wine and that.
Well, since I'm here talking to you, I tell everybody that I know, quit giving politicians your money. They get enough money from big corporate,
right.
They get enough, so quit giving them their money. They don't need it.
Well, we were talking about, one of the things about lobbyists is that they can only give $100 to a campaign fund. However, the political action committees can, jibber jabber that around and do whatever they need to do to get the money. And that's why we don't have a relevant third party in this country right now, is because all the money's going to, the Republicans and the Democrats are the same side of, they're the same coin, different sides. Everybody knows mass media is owned by BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, and everybody knows that they own not only Fox, but CNN. So you've already got the whole, you've got everything shut down news-wise, and that's what they want. And it's the same thing with our politicians.
They feed you what they want you to know.
Exactly.
But, I don't know if I'm supposed to be name dropping or not, but I watched, they kicked that kid out of Project Veritas, James O'Keefe, the guy who started it.
Uh-huh.
And he started a new thing now, and they found some kind of scheme that's going on through Act Blue, where they have that's public information. When you donate money to a campaign, that's public information.
Right.
And he went on those websites and found that, like, this 80-year-old woman made 18,000 contributions of $15 in so much amount of time. That money's coming from somewhere. It's not that old lady's money, $200,000.
Right.
You know that, and 15. I mean, she would have had to make like four donations a day for 2 years to add up to all that money. And so there's just a bunch of sketchy stuff going on.
It's all corrupt.
But lobbyists are they're the incentive for the whole deal.
Yeah, because they're getting what they need. I mean, Norfolk Southern, the train derailment disaster, those guys had $4 million, I think, in their budget for the year for lobbying. And right before that train derailment happened, there was something going on with trying to lower the standards of safety in the trains and railways. I haven't even been drinking. I've been to that winery.
And you got this transportation czar, Buttigieg, that couldn't find a train with both hands, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So, Al, do you think we could get away without lobbying?
Oh yeah, I think we'll get away without lobbying because have you seen what they lobby? You see the kind of people the kind of industries that lobby these people.
Yeah,
it's all the biggest money. It's all oil. It's all pharma. You know what I mean? All the big stuff, and that's who those people are indented to now. They're indentured to these folks.
Right.
I mean, because if they don't do if they legislate wrong, then the next time the $1 billion they give, however they give it,
as well as
the back door or whatever,
as well as foreign governments.
Yeah.
The United Emirates, Japan.
Yeah. There's a deal going on about a Japanese guy right now who got a bunch of celebrities involved in Bitcoin and giving $30 million to the Democrats.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. This is. I saw a thing on it this morning, as a matter of fact.
So I thought Bitcoin was.
I'm an old man, so I don't recognize all these celebrities, all these rappers and stuff. But they all look pretty rich to me. But anyway.
So
that thing with Veritas, though, is very, very, very snake-filled. You can just see it. It just came out. And if there's not a bunch of investigations over that, then
well, somebody has to start leading the charge on these investigations, and we have to start we have 2 minutes, by the way, or less than 2 minutes now. So the thing is we need to figure out a way for all the parties to be on a level playing field and we need to put term limits on our, and like, who's going to do that? Because it's like, then that means I'm going to lose my job. You shouldn't have a job in the government for the rest of your life. That's not what it was all about. Anyway, Al, thank you. We'd love for you to come on and talk with us again at some point about something else. Okay, thank you so much. I'm Rita Cook.
Terry Murphy.
And we are ECP-TV.